What business should I start in 2023? That's the question you may be asking yourself. And there's so many things on the internet, drop shipping, real estate, crypto, you name it. There's so many businesses that you could start. Before I actually share with you the exact business that I would start if I ever were to start over in 2023, is I actually want to share a story with you. When I was 18 and I just got out of high school, and I knew that for sure I wanted to make money. I want to be a business owner and not just live in the status quo, but not doing the thing that usually people do, right? Getting a job, working in an office, things like that. And so I started going on the internet and I started looking at different businesses that I should start. And I remember Gary Vee consistently putting out content and content. He's like, you just need to put out more content and content and content. And that's the way you generate more leads. And that's how you lower your acquisition costs. And I like everything's just blowing over my head. But I'm like, I like that. I just don't know what exactly I should do. I thought I was going to go to a prep school. I thought I was going to, and if you aren't familiar with that, but it's between high school and college. You don't actually have to sacrifice a year of eligibility to be able to play in college and get a Division I scholarship. And so I raised a bunch of money, sent a bunch of handwritten notes and letters to friends and family, people that I hoped would support me, as well as washing cars, doing a bunch of things so that I could be able to play in prep school and raise a bunch of money, because I wasn't raised in this crazy household with a ton of money. We made it by, and thankfully my dad works really hard and was able to give us more than what we could ever ask for. But this was really hard for me, but also as I had to think outside the box. I had to think creatively. So car wash, I wrote handwritten notes to friends, family, people that I'd hope support, did fundraisers, sell different things to be able to raise capital so that I could go to this school, right? And so I ended up getting a scholarship and I only have to pay about $8,000 to go to this prep school so that I can hopefully after that year pick up some Division I scholarships, move to California or on the East Coast, somewhere by the beach, that I can play Division I basketball, get a scholarship, go to school, and end up going to play in the NBA or overseas and just make money playing basketball. So I did all this. I made it. I actually signed to be able to go to that prep school that I wanted to in Arizona. There's a few that I was looking at, but I ended up choosing the one in Arizona called Hillcrest Prep. I had $8,000 there ready to pay for the tuition. After I moved out there, 3 weeks go by and I'm like, hey, I actually don't want to play prep basketball. I don't want to play Division I basketball. I don't want to do that anymore. Honestly, what I want to do is start a business. And at first I was just brainstorming, what do I want to do? What do I want to use this competitive passion to be able to do, to be able to actually blow up? How do I use social media to really grow a business? But what I decided to do is start a clothing line, which looking back is one of the worst decisions that I could have ever made, because the profit margins are so low and it's something that everybody wants to do, but I wish I wouldn't have done that. But I decided to do it. Things felt really good, and I moved pretty much the audience that I had at that time, which was maybe a couple thousand followers on Instagram, and started selling these clothes called More Apparel. And I started selling them, and I actually still wear the clothes to this day. I used all that money to move into this where the profit margins were low, where I didn't have anybody to sell to, and I wasn't able to generate leads in the right amount of time. And so I wish I would have not done that, but I did that anyway, and I learned a lot through it, because I knew if I just do the thing, if I learn while I go, if I just make a ton of mistakes, I'll be in a lot better spot than I am now. And I'd rather just have real life experience than being in a classroom and just learning all this stuff through a textbook, through a professor who may or may not have ever created a business that makes good cash flow, because he probably wouldn't be a professor at this point. So I knew I didn't want to do that. So I did this, and I started this clothing line, and I created affiliates, which was actually really smart at the time, but I didn't incentivize them enough, which I wish I would have. What's cool is that there's a guy that was an influencer at the time, and I actually saw a couple influencers at the time, and still are. They're big people, but I saw one of them playing basketball. I went to another one's concert, and I went up to them and I said, hey, can you like sign this shirt, and can you wear it? One of the guys that played basketball at that time, I was like, can you wear the shirt, and like let me create an ad, right? So I created an ad. He actually reposted it to his story, which is really cool, but it never really took off. I thought I was gaining a lot of momentum. It was really cool. I was investing so much into it. And what I've learned since then is you have to be in the right vehicle, maybe doing all the right things and actually taking the right actions, but are you actually in the right vehicle? Are you rowing in the right boat? I really made a mistake, but I learned a lot of lessons from that. And then it took about 2 years into that, and then I started working at Starbucks, and I knew that I wanted to start something, but I really didn't know what. I thought about wholesaling, I thought about flipping houses, but I never really took a step until I found actually the insurance industry. And life insurance has been super good to me. I've been able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars at 22 years old, officially start unlocking the matrix, being able to like escape the matrix, unlocking time, money, freedom, being able to do things that I never thought I would have, being able to go to resorts and vacations, and literally move all my stuff, sell everything in Arizona, move to here in North Carolina, in Charlotte, all across the country in one vehicle, and just live Airbnb to Airbnb. Like, I wish somebody would have told me about insurance sooner, because it's provided a huge vehicle for me. So the question for you, like, that you may be asking is, what vehicle is going to be best for me? What business should I start in 2023? And honestly, I don't think you should start a business. And what I mean by that is, I think that you actually, there's skill sets that you have to learn. So the thing I want to ask you is, do you actually have the skill sets required to make 10, 20, 30, 40,000, $50,000 per month in profit into your bank account? Do you actually have the skills required to do that? And the answer is probably no. Just like how it was for me. So what I had to do in life insurance was this great vehicle, 8 to 10 out of 10 vehicle, but I didn't have the skills required at that time to be able to be successful. That's why I was still making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, which wasn't crazy, because I didn't learn how to sell. So for you, learn how to sell, learn how to persuade, learn how to ask questions to be able to lead somebody through a framework that you can take somebody cold that's not super interested to turn into somebody hot, super interested, ready to buy anything that you share with them, so you can sell them. At first, I would learn how to sell, then I would learn how to market, how to generate leads so that you can close on them, because the best feeling ever is being able to generate leads that you know how to close, that you already have that skill. Honestly, the new way, the new business in 2023 is actually yourself, is actually building a business around yourself and what you're good at and what you like, and having and building an audience. That's where, for me, I've really taken this thing, is like, I've taken life insurance and I've blown it up, because I've wanted to just build out the personal brand, because life insurance is what I know how to do. There's so many other people like Alex Hormozzi's of the world and Ryan Pineda's that are making hundreds of millions of dollars. Why would somebody want to buy from me? Why would somebody want to join with me? Because it's who I am. It's because it's a new way to actually gain attention. Attention is the new currency, and I've seen that, and I've realized that, and I've decided, hey, I'm going to continue to play with my strengths with life insurance. I'm going to continue giving value there, but also there is so much of an opportunity right now in the digital space to be able to sell to people, to be able to build an audience, and be able to provide tons and tons of value while working 2 to 4 hours per day. And these are things that I never thought were possible, but it actually took me to unlock these limiting beliefs that I had, knowing that, hey, I actually don't have the system to work 2 to 4 hours per day, but it actually is possible if you have the right systems in place, the right opportunity. Once you put all those things together, you actually can be working 2 to 4 hours a day, making 6 figures a month. Guaranteed. Like, that's possible. There's so many people doing it now. And so that's really what my mission is now, is to be able to work 10 or 15 to 20 hours per week, helping a bunch of people with, one, the platform that I've been given, which is YouTube, and continuing to grow a community of entrepreneurs and life insurance agents, people really wanting to grow and scale, not having to sacrifice and settle for the status quo, which is now working 60 to 80 hours a week and making 500,000 to $1 million a year. That's kind of the old way. That's still, you're still broken a certain extent, because if you don't work 60 hours, then you don't have money coming in. But really incorporating the new way of being able to sell life insurance, be able to sell whatever it is, or do whatever the things are, and be able to actually have an audience of people that are growing, and you're making a big impact on them, but also you're rewarded as well by making money through that. At first, grow the skill sets required, and 2, gain attention online by either Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. And luckily, I've been able to hire a personal branding coach that has helped me use Instagram ads to not only just generate leads, for not only use direct response, to be able to build an audience that I'm going to be able to carry throughout the course of platforms coming and going. So again, if we have not yet met, my name is Johnny Nitafan. So if you haven't already, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.